Mr. Bloxham from Bay House and Broom Park School here, just going to make Jubilee trifle for the Queen. I'm taking my watch off here, I've washed my hands and I'm going to unroll it. So this is a Swiss roll, I've already rolled it up, but you have to roll it up empty. And then normally we'll make two for this, but I've made one large one. So I've made some homemade lemon curd here. So I'm going to spread this out, get it out of the bowl with a spatula so I don't waste any of it. Yeah, then you can either spread it with a spatula, the back of the spoon, or you can spread it with a palette knife. I'm going to spread it with a spatula. Yeah, then you can roll it up with a tea towel, or you can roll it up without the tea towel, but normally they're well known to be rolled up with a tea towel. So that's one. Roll it back up. Now I'm going to cut it with a serrated knife. It's got little jaggedy bits in, and as you can see here, you're going to see the big Swiss roll. So this Swiss roll actually might be bigger, might be better with smaller ones, so you can see the spiral in it a bit better. So it'll be a lot longer and maybe not so thick as this. So I'm going to use one of these bowls today. I'm going to use this bowl today, and it's reasonably high. This says altogether it makes 20 portions. I don't think it will make 20. This won't all fit in here, which is good because I don't want to take too much because we're going around somewhere today and there's about 6 of us eating it. So I'm going to put the sponge round the side first, and then I'm going to put the sponge in here. This can be nice and thick in here. That's my watch bibbing. So once I've got all that in here, get another piece in here so it all fills it all up. And then I'm going to put the jelly on top. So normally the jelly started to set now, slightly started to set, but really you'd have this a little bit runny and then put it in the fridge for 2 to 3 hours. And we're going out and we're going around somebody's birthday in a minute. This is what I'm making them. So I'm going to put this straight on. So the only trouble is now this will be absolutely solid before I do it, so I'm going to not put too much jelly in there. And also I think a lot more would soak in if this was a lot runnier, but normally you put this in the oven for 2 hours, but I haven't got time for that. So now we're going to put the custard on, and I put that bit of grease proof on to stop it having a skin, and that's called a cartouche. So take that off, and with the spatula again. Now this might not spread very well because obviously this should be absolutely solid now, so I have to be a bit careful here. Now there's not that much custard here, but I've been following the recipe to the T. So I'm going to spread it around and save a tiny bit because any other stuff I've got, I'm going to put in some glasses, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So that goes on here. Then we put a layer of amaretti biscuits. As you can see, there's a few missing here. I've eaten them. My wife is now smiling. Yeah? So we put the amaretti biscuits and we're going to save some of the top. Now these are all very complicated to make all this, but you could cheat a little bit and buy it all in. Buy the amaretti biscuits, buy Swiss roll. If they don't do lemon Swiss roll, just buy some sponge and put some lemon on it. So amaretti biscuits. Then we've got some mandarin coulis. That's one thing I haven't got. I followed the recipe. This is 2 tins of mandarin in here. It should be 4 tins, so I've only got half of what it should be, but everything else I've got the right amount of. Then a layer of mandarins. I'll save a little bit for the small ones. And then I've got whipped cream for the top. Whipped cream for the top. And then I've got some chocolate as well, which I'm just going to get out. So I'm going to use the palette knife. I do have the palette knife here. I'm going to spread it around with a spoon. You could pipe it on, but on this recipe it doesn't say to do that, so I'm trying to follow it. And then we just put the shards in. You could make it nice and smooth if you want to. So with a large knife, there's the palette knife. If you want it really smooth, you could just smooth it off with a palette knife, but in the picture it's got a bit of a rustic thing. Then all it finishes is with some shards of chocolate, which I'm just going to get from the fridge. And break it up. Now this should be white chocolate, but I didn't have any white chocolate, so I just used some milk chocolate. But obviously it's meant in the recipe it's meant to have. And I've melted the chocolate and sprinkled some mixed tea in. But obviously if you don't like that, you could garnish it with some other just chocolate without the mixed milk. So I'm breaking this up, and I'm going to make try and get a few like pointy type bits, so it's poking out the top. So in here. Just going to stick it all in here, or most of it, because I'm going to save some for the little ones. and you could put fresh strawberries on it there. I bought some fresh strawberries from Titchfield yesterday, they'd be really good on it. But obviously, I'm trying to follow the recipe. But fresh fruit I would normally put on a trifle. And we've nearly finished it. But then obviously here, you could have some individual ones. So this is a nice tall one, so this would be quite good. You could also make them in some tumblers, because they would be individual portions. Thank you. That's Mr. Bloxham from Bay House School.